Alright guys, we're here with Eric Gjertsen, and he's going to show you his spellbooks, because they're going to be awesome. He doesn't have Spellbook Judgment Day yet, but let's see what they do now.
Alright, it's 3 High Priestess, because it's the best card in the deck. Then 3 Spellbook Magicians, it searches every spellbook. 3 Breakers, because I don't main MSTs, and this card just does it even better. Triple Effect Veiler, because it's a tuner that I can bring back from the graveyard with life at any level and make some wacky plays, plus Effect Veiler is great. 2 Temperance. 3 was too much, and I tried playing Justice, and right now, without Judgment Day, it's just not nearly as good. But once Judgment Day comes out, Justice is obviously going to replace Temperance. 2 Apprentice Magicians. It searches out your Spellbook Magicians when you need it. If it has to, it could search out your 1 Knights and Sorcerer that I'm playing.
And why do you play the Knights and Sorcerer?
Because I play a Tempest Magician in my extra deck, because I play Star Hall main deck in my deck, and if Star Hall gets high enough, then you can Tempest burn them for game really easily.
Works.
Alright, and that's it for the monsters. The spells, it's 3 Spellbook of Secrets, because why not play 3 of your Searcher? Right now it's 2 Spellbook Star Hall. I really like Star Hall.
I was about to say, because some people don't even play them.
I don't know if I'm going to play it at 2, especially when Judgment Day comes out. It's really unnecessary at 2. But right now, I only have 1 Spellbook of the Master, and my other one's in the mail, so I'm playing a 2nd Star Hall. And it also helps me with the Tempest Burn whenever I get that off. And if they don't get rid of your Star Halls, then they get really big, and your monsters just can crash over everything.
Yeah, we were playing earlier. He had a 3700 breaker.
Yeah, I've had Spellbook Magician get up to like 3400. Like, poking with, like, he was powered and he was just gigantic. My opponent couldn't do anything. Then you could also use Breaker or Priestess's effect to blow this up and search your deck for your own monster that you need if you have enough counters on it. It opens you up to a lot of different plays. 2 Spellbook of Fate. I was only playing 1, but my Spellbook count is constantly going up, and this card's more and more live. If you can get this in your first hand and you have a Spellbook Magician, you can almost always Magician for Secrets, Secrets for Master, and then set this, and when they try and run into your Magician, you could set it to banish your Master and your Secrets. You search an Eternity to just get back your Master and then get back your Secrets. And if you have a Star Hall active, it's just more and more counters building up. It gives you a lot of plays. Plus, this is your 1 card out to, like, any problem that you have. You play 2 Spellbook of Eternity. I would never play less than 2, because this card, if you run out of Eternities, you can't cycle through your deck. It wins me games. 2 Spellbook of Life. You have to keep bringing back your Priestess. You can bring back your Veilers at any level. You can bring back Knights and Sorcerer by banishing a Spellbook Magician, bringing back a level 4, and also another Spellbook Magician, or Secrets for a Spellbook Magician. That gives you level 6. You can Tempest and burn them for the last little bits of damage. So a lot of times I'll do a big push and then they'll clear my field. And if I can't do that last little bit of damage, I'll lose. 2 Spellbook of Power. Just gets over every monster. 2 Wisdom to get around back row, especially if you have Power and Wisdom and you have a Breaker in your hand. They typically wouldn't waste a Solemn Warning. Now that Warning's going to 1, it's going to be even harder for them to deal with it. And I'll summon a Breaker and they'll use their 1 monster clearing card, and then I'll Wisdom it and blow up their other back row, power over whatever monsters they have. It gives you a lot of plays, and I only have 1 Spellbook of the Master right now, but I would play 2. It copies any Spellbook in your graveyard, gives you a lot of really good plays. There's some monsters you just can't get over. Christia will completely kill you, and you'll lose the game, but Master and Power, like almost any of your monsters, can get over Christia, and it saves my ass.
What would you cut for the 2nd Master?
Probably a Star Hall. If anything, I know dualities are coming out. They're just in there because dualities, it adds consistency to the deck. There's some plays where you can't special summon, or you're looking for that 1 extra piece, and you can.
So those will be Spellbook Judgment Days.
Yeah, right now, if I was gonna keep this build, I'd probably just add 1 more Master, and these 2 become Judgment Day. You're playing 42 cards, but Judgment Day says you search everything. You'll literally be down to 10 cards in like 3 turns, and you just win. Alright, so you got your 1 Spellbook of the Master and the 1 Spellbook Tower. Anytime I see anyone playing more than 1 Spellbook Tower, it's a completely dead draw if you already have 1 active. You can always recycle it. You never have problems getting your back on the field unless, I don't know, they just have all the answers. And I think it's 17 spellbooks altogether. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 17. Yeah, 17 spellbooks. You need as many spellbooks as you can in your hand to keep your priestesses active when you draw them. I completely hate summoning priestess from the deck with a Temperance because there's just so many cards that they can answer it with. Whereas if it's in my hand and I could summon it, then I typically have a Wisdom to protect it, or I could search the Wisdom.
Right.
Then the non-spellbook spells, I play 2 Duality, 2 Wonder Wand, and Dark Hole, Monster Read 1. You don't need Heavy Storm. I typically don't care about back row. I blow everything up. I don't need MSTs because I mean 3 Breaker and Priestess deals with all the back row that I have. I don't know what else to say. You just.
How do you like Wonder Wands?
Wonder Wand's an instant +1 with your Spellbook Magicians. If you summon it, the effect goes through, then you get it. If you summon it, they Veiler it. It's a 0 when you Wonder Wand it away and they lost their card. It helps me out in a lot of different situations. Especially people like the Fiendish Chain Priestess, and I'll be like, whatever. Wonder Wand it away, Spellbook of Life, bring it back, and their chain's just worthless. Then the 1 trap, Treacherous Trap Hole, saves me in so many games. It gets sided out almost every game because you side in traps, but it's the best trap to play if you're only going to want to run 1 trap. And that's the whole main deck. Extra deck, got a token that I don't know if we're going to put on the video. 1 TG Hyper Librarian. He is a spellcaster, so you can still use all of your books to pump him or bring him back from the grave or do some wacky plays. And then 1 Cathaster. You can really easily make 5s with Veilers and the Spellbook Magicians. So like you can pick whichever one you need for the situation. If you have a Star Hall active with a ton of counters, Hyper Librarian is going to be big. If you need to answer that monster that's just not dark and you're playing against Mermails and they can't answer Cathaster, then you're fine. They can never get over it. The 1 Tempest, level 6, it helps me burn for game a lot of the times. When people just don't want to get rid of the Star Halls that you have, this is the best card. 1 Arcanite Magician, because once again Star Hall accumulates a ton of counters. You can blow everything up. I also play Wonder Wand, so I can bring him out, blow up 2 cards, Wonder Wand it away. They just minused, and I got 2 new cards. And 1 Black Rose. I don't make it very often, but when I do make it, I need it. Saves me the game. 3 level 8s, I play Stardust, which he might come out if I ever really need another space, because I don't find myself making it as much as I need to. 1 Scrap Dragon, because again, like you can blow up your Star Hall and get a plus blow up one of their cards and not care. You can summon a Spellbook Magician and search and then just blow it up to get it out of the way and get rid of one of their cards. Like it's a really great card. Plus 28 gets over a lot of monsters. And 1 Crimson Blader.
Why is that?
Because against like Mermails and against this deck, like in a mirror match, if I can make a Crimson Blader run over 1 monster, I know next turn I don't have to worry about anything. Because they can't summon a Priestess, Mermails can't summon any.
And what does he do again? Remind us all.
If this card destroys any monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, your opponent cannot normal or special summon level 5 or higher monsters during the next turn.
That's ridiculous.
Somebody happens to be playing Monarchs, and they lose when you run over their Treeborn Frog. Dragons fucking, they don't have anything. Yeah, dragons lose. That's all the synchros I play. I play more synchros than exceeds. I don't find myself needing the extra deck very often, but when you do, it's for a big play.
Right.
I play 3 rank 2s. Shining Elf because he's a spellcaster. Also, he helps you, like, sometimes if you have, once again, Star Hall is big, they can't summon anything to get over it. Nothing can be normal summon to get over him, because you can use his effect twice on the same summon if you have to drop their monster by 1,000. But most of the time, nothing's going to get over him. And I've done some weird plays that get him over weird cards. 1 Gotchi, because Gotchi will save you, and I almost never make it, but a Daigusto Phoenix for the times when I know I can push for game and they don't have any answers. I play 2 rank 4s. I almost never make rank 4s, but the ones that I need, like for the last little push for game, I'll play a Geiger Cowboy. The one that I make more than anything, though, is Maestro, because usually if I'm making a rank 4, it's because I have no better play. I need to be safe for the next turn, or they have a card that I just can't deal with, and I make a Maestro, and I have to sit on that until I'm drawn out. But that doesn't happen very often. Then I play 1 Big Eye, because he's a spellcaster too, so all of your books still work on him. You can save him from torrentials and all that with Wisdom. You can power him to get over things, though mostly you're going to be stealing their monsters with him. He's Big Eye. He gets rid of problems. And then 1 Hierophant. He's okay. On Hierophant, he blows up cards, blows up spells and traps equal to up to the number of spellbooks you have in the graveyard. You can't Starlight Road when I activate his effect. I don't target cards when I activate his effect. It's not until resolution that I decide what cards to destroy. Against Mermails, you can make it, and you'll activate his effect if they don't want to chain anything to his effect activating. Then I get to blow up all their cards, and they can't sphere at that point. If they decide to sphere, I don't have to blow up the sphere right there. I can let whatever they bring out sit on the field. Like if it's a Lindy, then I can let it sit on the field, go get a Fate. I can use Fate to banish the Lindy, and they won't get any cards. So this card, sometimes, Imperial Iron Wall. Imperial Iron Wall gets sided against me sometimes. It was the weirdest match, and I went to activate an effect, and he Imperial Iron Walled, and I couldn't blow anything up with a Priestess, and I had 2 on the field, and I couldn't do anything. He had a bunch of back row, and I had taken this out of my extra deck at that point. I was really upset because I could have made this and just answered all my problems. So I put him back in. He does do a lot. He's also 28, so he's really big, and he gets over a lot of monsters.
And real quick, side deck.
Quickly over the side deck. 2 Kaiko. He's good against Chaos Dragons, good against Agents, good against Dark Worlds. He's a spellcaster. Against decks where I don't need Breaker, I'll side Breakers out and put him in. He's pretty good. Maxi, so I don't lose against like Geargias, and I don't know, it would be good against Windups before. Windups aren't going to be as derpy as they were before, but I could still side them if I'm playing against Windups and get some pluses. 2 Old Vindictives. They can be tutored out with your Apprentice Magicians. They answers against not Chaos Dragons. Dino Rabbit. Dino Rabbit kills the Logia that you just can't deal with. 1 Tsukiyumi. I side this just for Agents for the most part, or anything that sides Fossil Dinos that I can't deal with, because
or Christia, anything like that.
It's for Christia for the most part, but for Fossil Dinos, I could set this, they'll run into it, and it'll flip the Dino, and the next turn I can special summon something and just blow it up, I don't have to deal with it. Christia is the biggest problem though. Christia is really big, and I can't get over it with almost anything except for a double powered like Breaker, and that's if they have no back row to protect it. So this card it's really useful. 2 MSTs, I usually don't side MSTs, but there's some decks where I need it. 3 Soul Drain.
Because Dark World and Mermail.
Dark Worlds and Mermails. I tried it with Fissures. Fissures just, they ruin a lot of my plays. Spellbook of Life is supposed to be able to bring back Priestess every turn that I need to. And with Fissure, Priestess will die and get banished and I can't do anything. 2 Royal Decrees. Royal Decree, I side them against Mermails because I get tired of their spheres going off. Any kind of troll deck like Chain Burn that I can't deal with. I have Decrees. And then 1 Mind Crush. Mostly against the Mirror Match, I'll side Mind Crush, but every deck right now in the new meta is gonna get hurt by Mind Crush. Every deck searches. Can hurt Mermails, can hurt Mirror Match really bad. There's just a lot of effects that activate in your hand. Mind Crush saves your life. That's the deck.
How do you feel about this deck when Harpies come out?
Harpies are kind of aggravating, but for the most part, they're not that big a deal. Unless they make a Chidori when I have no answers. Because they'll put my tower on the bottom of the deck, and then they'll put whatever I have set on the bottom of the deck. Like if I have set a monster, and they'll just bounce it away, and it sucks. Like that's the worst card.
But do you think that Spellbooks, once they get Judgment Day, they'll be a force to be reckoned with in the new format?
You can't do anything. You can literally do nothing. And Thunder King went to 2, so they want me to win. Yeah. Judgment Day is gonna be a secret because every other good card in this deck has come out secret. This deck's worth too much money. And I got it for absolutely nothing. I'm gonna play it. It's a $1,000 deck, and I'll play it until somebody offers me $1,000 to take it off my hands.
And what is your name again, sir?
I'm Eric Gjertsen, and
what do you want to call this deck here?
This is Prophecies. Everybody else calls it Prophecies. I say Spellbooks.
Spellbooks. All right, you want to sign us out?
You can follow me on YouTube, Eric the Bad Kid. I'll never actually get on there and put a video, but. This is the deck. It's really good. It's hard to deal with. I typically don't have problems. My name's Eric Gjertsen.
That is the name.